Welcome to the Scenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
If you're anything like us, you've definitely felt it. That kind of constant background hum of stress,
Oh, yeah.
the never-ending list, and then, bedtime rolls around and your brain just refuses to switch off.
Absolutely. Trouble sleeping, feeling sort of wired but tired, anxious.
Exactly. It's not just annoying anymore. It feels like a daily battle for so many people. And well, while there are lots of things out there, many of us are looking for something maybe a bit gentler, something natural.
That's where things like Valerian root come in, right?
Precisely. So today we're doing a deep dive into this, ancient remedy that seems to be making a real comeback, Valerian root.
It really is fascinating, isn't it? An herb used for, over 2,000 years, and now we're seeing modern science actually validating some of that traditional use.
It offers a different kind of path maybe to relaxation, something that works with your body, not just, forcing it.
That's a good way to put it.
So yeah, this deep dive is our mission to unpack Valerian root for you, the listener. We want to explore, okay, what is it really? How does it actually create that calming effect in your brain? What does the science actually say about its uses, its benefits? And crucially, what do you absolutely need to know about safety?
The goal being to give you the info you need to decide if Valerian root might be, a useful tool for your own well-being.
Exactly. So let's start right at the beginning. Where does this stuff come from?
Okay, so valerian root comes from the Valeriana officinalis plant. It's native to parts of Europe and Asia.
Right.
And its history is seriously long. Like we said, over 2,000 years. It was traditionally used for, pretty much what we're talking about today. Insomnia, nervousness, anxiety.
How did people take it back then?
Usually as things like teas or tinctures, those are liquid extracts, or sometimes just the powdered root itself.
Okay, but I guess the burning question, the thing that makes it really interesting now, isn't just the history, but how it works. How does it actually, calm down an overloaded brain? What's the secret sauce?
Well, the big aha moment, scientifically speaking, was discovering that valerian root actually seems to boost a specific chemical in your brain. It's called GABA.
GABA, okay, gamma aminobutyric acid.
Well, that's the one. So it's not just knocking you out like a heavy sedative, it's interacting with the brain's own chemistry.
That is fascinating. So GABA, what does it do?
Think of GABA as like your brain's natural brake pedal, When you're feeling stressed, overstimulated, anxious, GABA helps to sort of slow things down.
Right, puts the brakes on the racing thought.
Exactly. And what valerian seems to do is increase the amount of GABA available, mainly by stopping it from being broken down too quickly.
Ah, okay, so it helps your natural calming system work better.
Precisely. And the key active ingredients doing this heavy lifting are things like valerianic acid, that's a big one for the GABA effect, and also compounds called valipotriates. They contribute to the relaxing anti-anxiety feeling.
And there's more.
Yeah, plus it has antioxidants, which are always good. They help protect the brain from stress and inflammation.
And this is where I think the comparison to conventional meds gets really important, right? You're saying it affects GABA, which some drugs do too, but it's different, gentler.
Absolutely. That's a crucial point. Prescription drugs like benzodiazepines, think Valium, Xanax, they also target GABA, but often much more forcefully.
Right.
Valerian does it more subtly, and importantly, typically without the same high risks of addiction, difficult withdrawal, or the more serious side effects that can come with those pharmaceuticals.
So it's like nudging the system instead of hijacking it.
That's a great analogy, yeah. These natural compounds work together synergistically to just gently reduce nervous system activity, helping you relax without feeling completely zonked out or drugged.
Okay, that sounds incredibly appealing, especially if you're looking for something you could maybe use more regularly. But is this just nice theory and old stories, or is there solid science behind it? What does the research actually show?
Good question. And yes, the science is actually pretty compelling now. For instance, there was a big review looking at 16 different studies on sleep.
Okay.
And it found that valerian root could significantly improve overall sleep quality. It also helped reduce the time it takes people to actually fall asleep. This was especially true for folks with mild or moderate insomnia.
So people genuinely felt a difference.
Yeah, participants reported falling asleep faster, waking up less during the night, real noticeable improvements.
And is it just sleep or does it branch out? I think you mentioned anxiety earlier.
You're right, it's not solely about sleep. Another study, for example, showed Valerian helped people feel significantly less anxious before doing something stressful, like public speaking or having a medical procedure.
That makes sense, linking back to the GABA mechanism.
Exactly. It aligns perfectly with lab findings showing that valerianic acid actually does increase GABA by stopping its breakdown. It supports that natural calmness.
So the key takeaway seems to be, it helps your brain chill out, relax, but without necessarily making you feel wiped out or sleepy during the day.
That's the general finding, yes. Which leads us nicely into the next question. What are the specific benefits we're talking about here, beyond just calming?
Right, let's break down those advantages. What's benefit number one?
Well, first and foremost, as we've kind of established, it improves sleep quality and reduces sleep latency. Latency is just that time it takes you to drift off.
Okay.
And it seems effective for, generally healthy people having a rough patch with sleep and for those with diagnosed insomnia, particularly if the sleep issues are tied to stress or even menopause.
Okay, so quite broad on the sleep front. What's next?
Second, it definitely helps reduce anxiety and calm the nervous system overall. That GABA regulation we talked about gives a natural calming effect, often without heavy sedation.
And you mentioned that study about stressful events.
Yeah, that double-blind, placebo-controlled trial really underscored its potential in acute stress situations. And crucially, unlike a lot of prescription anti-anxiety meds, Valerian typically doesn't mess with your thinking or cognitive function, and it doesn't cause dependency when you use it properly. That's huge.
Definitely. Okay, benefit number three.
Third, and this is where mind and body really connect, it can ease stress-related physical tension.
Oh, interesting. Like muscle tightness.
Exactly. Think about how stress makes you clench up, right? Valerian might help relieve that muscle tension, general restlessness, maybe even mild tremors that come from chronic stress or just an overactive nervous system.
So like the physical ways anxiety shows up. Racing heart, maybe. Clenched jaw, tension headaches.
Precisely. Those somatic symptoms, it seems to help soothe those as well.
Okay, number four.
Fourth, there's research suggesting it can support hormonal balance, particularly during menopause.
Really? How so?
It's been shown in some studies to reduce the severity and frequency of things like hot flashes, night sweats, and the insomnia that often comes along with menopause.
Is there specific evidence for that?
Yeah, there was one notable study where women took 530 milligrams twice a day for 8 weeks. They saw significant improvements in their sleep and fewer of those uncomfortable vasomotor symptoms, the hot flashes and sweats.
Wow. Okay, that's quite specific. And the final big benefit.
And finally, benefit number 5, which is a massive draw for many people. It's generally considered a non-addictive alternative to many conventional sleep medications.
Right. Compared to things like benzodiazepines or even some antihistamines people use for sleep.
Exactly. Valerian is typically non-habit forming, it's gentler on the nervous system overall, and it's much less likely to leave you feeling groggy or hungover the next morning. That makes it a really appealing option if you're looking for potentially longer-term support.
Okay, so lots of potential benefits. If someone listening is thinking, all right, maybe I should try this, how do they actually go about incorporating it? What are the options?
Good practical question. Valerian root comes in a few main forms.
Like pills?
Yeah, capsules or tablets are probably the most common. They're convenient, you get a measured dose, and importantly for some, there's no taste.
Right, I've heard the taste can be something.
It can be. Which brings us to tinctures. These are liquid extracts. They tend to be more concentrated, they might get absorbed a bit faster, and you have more flexibility with adjusting the dose.
Okay. Who else?
Then there's the traditional dried valerian root, which you'd use to make herbal tea.
That sounds nice, like a calming ritual.
It can be. But fair warning, valerian has a very strong, earthy smell. Some people describe it like old socks, frankly. And the tea has a distinctly bitter taste. It's definitely not everyone's cup of tea, so to speak.
Huh. Good to know. Any other forms?
You might occasionally find it as a powder, maybe for people making their own herbal blends, but that's less common for general use.
Okay. So when you're buying, say, capsules or a tincture, what should you look for? Any tips for buying smart?
Definitely. You want to look for trusted, reputable brands, ideally ones that use standardized extracts.
Standardized. What does that mean?
It means they guarantee a certain level of the active compounds. Specifically, Look for products that actually state the amount of valerianic acid.
Yeah.
That tells you you're getting a consistent strength and likely a more effective product.
Got it. Check for valerianic acid content. Now, what about dosage? How much should someone take and when? Especially for sleep.
Okay, so for sleep support, the general recommendation for adults is somewhere in the range of 400 to 900 milligrams of valerian root extract.
And timing.
You typically take that about 30 to 60 minutes before you plan to go to bed.
Or the tea?
Or if you're going the tea route, brew a cup about an hour before bed.
Now, how quickly does it work? Is it instant?
Good point. It's important to set expectations here. It varies. Some people notice a difference within a few nights, which is great.
But not everyone.
No. For others, it might take a bit longer, maybe 1 to 2 weeks of consistent use for the full benefits to really become noticeable.
So patience is key.
Absolutely. One big clinical review actually found the most significant improvements happened after people used it for at least 14 nights in a row. So, yeah, stick with it for a little while if you don't feel dramatic effects right away.
Okay, that's really helpful.
Yeah.
Now, we have to talk about safety, side effects, precautions. What's the deal there?
Right. Overall, valerian is generally considered pretty well tolerated, quite safe for most adults when used appropriately.
But are there potential side effects?
Yes, like any supplement, there can be. They're usually mild, though. Some people might experience a bit of mild drowsiness, maybe some dizziness, an upset stomach, or occasionally a headache, usually not severe.
Okay. And are there groups of people who should be extra cautious or maybe avoid it completely?
Yes, definitely. This is crucial. Pregnant or breastfeeding women should exercise caution or avoid it. There just isn't enough research yet to confirm its safety during pregnancy or lactation.
Makes sense. Anyone else?
Also, it's generally not recommended for children under 3 years old unless a pediatrician specifically advises it.
Okay. What about interactions? Does it mix badly with other things?
Very important point. Yes, valerian can potentially enhance the effects of other substances that have sedative properties.
Like what?
This includes prescription sedatives like benzodiazepines, barbiturates, even some older types of antihistamines that make you drowsy, and significantly, alcohol.
The alcohol question. We get this a
Yeah.
lot. So is it safe to have a drink if you're taking valerian?
The clear advice is no. Combining valerian and alcohol can dangerously amplify the sedative effects of both. You could end up excessively drowsy, uncoordinated. It's just not a safe mix.
Right. Definitely avoid that combo. So the big takeaway message on safety seems to be,
The key advisory, and we really can't stress this enough, if
Yeah.
you are taking any other medications, prescription or over-the-counter, especially anything for sleep, anxiety, or mood, or if you have any ongoing health condition, you absolutely must talk to your doctor or another qualified healthcare provider before you start taking valerian.
okay, check with your doc first. Got it. Let's tackle a few more quick questions people often ask. Can you take it every single night? Is it okay long term?
Studies generally support safe use for periods up to maybe 6 or 8 weeks. For using it longer than that, it's probably a good idea to either cycle it, take breaks, or at least discuss it with your healthcare provider to make sure it's still appropriate for you.
Okay. And what about that morning after feeling? Will it make you groggy?
Most people actually don't report significant next-day drowsiness, especially if they stick to the recommended dose and timing. But like anything, individual responses can vary. So pay attention to how you feel the next morning.
And the big one, is it addictive? Can you get dependent on it?
No, and this is really one of its major advantages over many prescription sleep aids. Valerian is not considered addictive. It doesn't typically cause physical dependency or those difficult withdrawal symptoms when you start taking it. It's non-habit forming.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what's the bottom line for you, the listener?
Well, I think the bottom line is that valerian root supplements are clearly more than just an old folk remedy. They represent a time-tested and increasingly science-supported option if you're struggling with anxiety or sleep issues.
Yeah, it offers real benefits, but often without those harsh side effects that can come with pharmaceutical drugs. It feels like a genuinely gentler approach.
It really does. So it could potentially be a great natural addition to your personal stress relief toolkit or your sleep routine, something worth considering.
Definitely. But as always, it's just one piece of the puzzle, isn't it?
Absolutely. While valerian offers this really compelling natural path, the whole world of natural remedies is huge, and how each person responds is always individual, which kind of leads to a final thought, maybe.
Go for it.
What really stands out to you about this process? about trying to balance this kind of ancient traditional wisdom with our modern scientific understanding, especially when it comes to your own health and well-being.
Thanks for tuning in to the Scenario Podcast. Don't forget to visit scenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.